Now call the Arts Council of Alachua County meeting to order for April 5th, 2021. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. Has everyone had an opportunity to look at the agenda as well as their minutes? Could I get a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes?
So moved.
Second, for the record?
Second.
All right. So item number 4 is going to be our call to artist ranking. Gina, and we'll turn it over to Gina and Lyra.
I'm gonna turn it over to Lyra. That was complicated, huh? Gina, can you let me share this screen, please? Yes. Let's start with, so I'm gonna start with 21974, other sculpture for Alachua County Agriculture and Equestrian Center.
And these people cannot see that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if you sit at the table and turn your screen so that they can see.
All right.
It's little, but we'll see.
So, we'll make it work.
Number you saying 974?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
extension should be first. Let me make sure somebody's on the call.
This one is for Alan.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw Alan on. Hey, Alan, nice to see you.
Hey,
All right.
I'm here.
So, I am missing Carol's.
Yes, and I do not have a completed one, so I'd like to refrain from scoring this one.
Yes, ma'am. And I am missing Megan at this point too.
So Megan is not on the call, so let's exclude her as well.
All right.
Let me just make 100% sure. Megan, if you're on the call, speak up. No, I don't see her in my attendee list.
Okay. So let me do this so we can get it sorted. I just was waiting for this. Heaven's gracious. What do you mean merge cells? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I took your chair.
Oh, no, you're sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so right now, I believe that the highest score we have is Ms. Leslie Tharp and Sarah Hines. I just want to make sure that I have the written scores correctly, so I'm going to read them out loud, just the total. I'm going to start with Alan.
Okay.
So Alan, for St. Hunan, your total was 53.
Correct.
Alan Milligan, 42.
Correct.
Peter Mueller, 52.
Correct.
Craig Gray, 95.
Correct.
Craig Taylor, 90.
Correct.
Donna Genalena, 52.
Correct.
Gareth Curtis, 86.
Correct.
Justin Lena, 40.
Correct.
James Wheatsell, 17.
Yes.
Jim Collins, 29.
Yes.
Avi Allard, 50.
Yes.
Kent Hutchinson, 11.
Correct.
Kirk, 21.
Correct.
Leslie Tharp, 89.
Correct.
Michael, 21.
Correct.
Roberto Delgado, 0.
Correct.
Solomon Basoff, 5.
Correct.
Stephen Fairfield, 51.
Correct.
Eugene Lim, 26.
Correct.
Susan Mulpowers, 6.
Yes.
Timothy Carter, 6.
Yes.
And Tony Steller, 57.
Yes.
And William Schaff, 14.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to need you to explain the 0 for Roberto Delgado.
It didn't, we got, pulled up on the computer, it was not, it did not meet the requirements. Everything wasn't there.
All right.
I believe
The submittal was incorrect. I mean,
So one of them could be just, double.
There were two.
Yeah, there were two from, yeah.
Oh, depende.
They were identical though.
Jen Garrett, did you apply for the Ag and Equestrian Center or a different one? I think you did the extension office. You can
Some of them
unmute
apply
yourself
to
if you're
everything.
guessing.
Yeah, and they still were incomplete.
Yes, I applied for the extension office. I'm sorry, y'all aren't doing extension, you're doing the other one?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
No, you're fine. All right.
We're not doing extension, what are we doing?
Yes, we're doing all three today.
Okay, but which one, sorry? Which one?
We're on the,
Okay.
question.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, Ms. Chelsea, I'm gonna go over the scores with you if you're ready. If you're
Okay.
not, I can just go with.
Is it the nine, can you tell me the numbers on it? Is it the 974, 975, or
974.
974? Actually, if you want to do someone else.
Okay,
first,
no
that's
problem. All right, Mr. David.
I'm pulling it up. Said 974,
Yes,
the totals,
yes, please.
starting with Michael,
No, Amos Van Heunen.
say again,
Amos, she's on the first page.
Might be a different order if it's not this table.
So it should be the same as that one. I can keep going with Irina, if you're not ready.
yeah, I don't,
Okay, Ms. Irina?
Mm-hmm. Emma, 54,
Yep,
Alan, 32,
yep,
Sutter, 42,
yep,
Craig, 56,
yep,
Craig Taylor, 33,
yep,
Donald, 17, Garrett, 67, Gus, 59, James, 45, Jim, 28,
mhm,
Katie, 60,
mhm.
Cam, 26, Kirk, 52, Leslie, and Sarah, 60, Michael, 55, Roberto, 64, Solomon, 28, Stefan, 72, Sajin, 54, 55,
Okay.
and
Head back in here a minute, please.
Oh,
so Timothy, 16, 20, 70, William, Scott, 50, and I have Bobby, 72. Bobby, there was like another additional artist. So
Like Gus?
yeah, so on this
Like
table,
Gus,
I didn't
yeah.
see them, but I saw them. I saw him somewhere else. So if you have him in the list, Bobby, he's 72. Did you see Bobby?
for 974?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
but I should try.
I didn't, because I know there's a Bobby for 977.
There's a Bobby Zokachis in the West Lawn
Yeah.
batch.
No, at least in Coda Works, there's not a Bobby for 974.
I do not have a Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can exclude him because I saw him in some listings and I just added him to this table. But if you don't have him, then just exclude.
Okay. So I also have in here, I noticed your Susan Mulpowers.
Susan. Ah, okay. Susan. Yes, so there is.
Doing good?
So instead of Susan, I had Bobby.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is, that's why I crossed the Susan over and I got the scores for Bobby.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, in this case, I have no idea what to do. So what score did you give Susan on? For which one did you score Susan for?
Yeah, I did Bobby, because on the online, I didn't have Susan, I had Bobby.
Gotcha, okay.
Yes. So I can tell you the score, but that was for the different artists, so I don't think we can use it, maybe.
No, that's a good question. Because then you were thinking of evaluating something else instead of the same.
Yeah, because I was opening the profiles, whatever was published online in CodaWorks, and I didn't find Susan, but there was Bobby. Maybe something with the system, I don't know. But there's some other guys saw Bobby too, right?
I saw Bobby under Westlawn.
Wow.
Well,
He's not in the tables, though.
But he's not in the table, but
Yeah.
he was in the work. He was in the work. Bobby.
Yeah. What I can do, I can take a look and rate Susan just now, if that's acceptable.
yeah, I'm gonna need it because the score that you gave her right now is not based on the CTA.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And what to do with the Bobby then? Just exclude?
oh, no, Bobby, you'll have to do the same thing, thinking of 977, because I think that's the one that he's in, if I'm not mistaken. Yep.
Okay, I can look at again while some others will be.
All right, so I'm going now to Dr. Q.
Okay, 974. Okay, what's her name?
Emma?
Ava, because I didn't bring my glasses, I'm sorry.
I thought that was gonna be up on the board.
I guess not.
My glasses in the car. Okay. 25.
Yep.
Allen, 30.
Mm-hmm.
Mueller, 70.
Yep.
Craig Gray, 75.
Yep.
Taylor, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Donald, 95.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis?
Curtis.
34.
Mm-hmm.
Gus and Nina,
Mm-hmm.
25. James, 25.
Mm-hmm.
Collins, 25.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was Cavid, 80. Kent, 25. Kirk, 18, 83, 72.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Hart, 95.
Yep.
Michael, 25.
Yep.
Roberto, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Solomon, 15. Stephen Fairfield, 42.
Mm-hmm.
How you pronounce that?
Sujin Ling.
Okay, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Susan, 0.
Okay.
Timothy Carter, 25.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, 25.
Mm-hmm.
William, 27.
Okay, so why that 0 to Suzanne Mulpowers?
I think she didn't have anything there.
Yeah, so again.
It was 0. There was nothing there.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Nothing uploaded, that's why I didn't rate
Yeah,
her.
there was
Okay,
nothing
okay,
there.
yeah.
I can't grade nothing.
Right, so you can just put 0 for.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Chelsea or Mr. David? Are you ready?
I'm doing my math real quick. I didn't total mine.
Oh.
But I'm far away from being done.
Okay, no problem.
Bad math.
But because I do have some of your scores in here.
We could
But-
start, if you want. I don't know how far you are, David. You're doing the same thing.
Oh, I'm just, I should have brought the papers because now the screen's lit,
Oh,
but I
okay.
can give you my totals.
Okay. you
Okay.
You're starting with, 974.
Yes. For Emma, 37.
Yes,
Alan, 45.
yes.
Cedar, 20. Craig
Cedar,
Mueller.
69.
Oh, sorry, 16, I'm already on the wrong column. Craig Gray, 66.
Correct.
Taylor, 9.
Yes,
Donald, 68.
yes,
Gareth, 55.
yes,
Gus and Lena, 73.
yes,
James Witzel, 46.
yes,
Jim Collins, 44.
yes,
Cavi Allard, 68.
yes,
Kent, 9.
yes,
Kirk, 70.
Yes.
Leslie Tharp, 88.
Yes.
Michael McLaughlin, 9.
1 second.
Roberto Delgado, 49.
Yes.
Solomon Basov, 9.
Yes.
Stephen Fairfield, 69.
Yes.
Sujeen, 62.
Yes.
Susan, 9.
Yes.
Timothy, 9.
Yes.
Tony Stellar, 61.
Yes.
And William, 51.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right.
And now, I may have been confused because I thought we couldn't do zeros again, so that's why the people who had,
No, you can do zeros. The thing is that you have to put it in writing why, and explain during the meeting why you gave a zero, which is why I'm asking.
so the people, the people who had like just a resume or a general letter or no information, or the people who I gave the 1 or the 9s total to, just so everybody's aware.
You were consistent, so it shakes out the same.
Basically, yeah. As long as each member is consistent on how
Yeah.
they do,
Mhm.
then that's no problem.
Okay.
I
Some
can
of
tell
it-
when,
I mean,
Something.
just trying to chime in, some of it was confusing, like Tony Stollard, I really liked the front page picture he gave, but what he was submitting was nothing like what he did. I mean, I thought, so it's tough to grade these things on, I mean, if he could do something like what the front picture he gave us, that was beautiful. But what he was submitting was totally different than that. And when you really went through and looked through what they were trying to submit to the facility, so anyway, that's enough said.
You can only score the application in front of you, you can't
Right.
speculate on what they may or may not be thinking. It's what's in front of you.
That's
All right,
exactly
Mr.
right.
Kelsey? Let's do AMA 32.
Doing by the last name, is that okay?
Oh, sure.
What's the last name?
St. Hannon,
Kenan.
True.
32, yeah.
That's why someone
Milligan?
didn't.
Mueller, Craig,
91,
Taylor,
83,
Jelanella,
83,
Curtis,
95,
Ocaponsliva,
95,
Witzel,
83,
Collins,
86,
Allard,
96,
Hutchinson,
32,
Kirk,
87,
Leslie,
88.
88.
Is that right? Because my math, tell me if there's a discrepancy.
Okay,
'cause,
then.
I did the math really fast just now, so,
Okay, so what you got?
I got 88, but is that a discrepancy from what you have?
No, it's okay. Give me, the numbers that you have in there so I can summarize.
Okay. 10, 15, 25, 15, 10, 5, 1, 1, 1, 5.
88. McLaughlin,
56,
Delgado,
91,
Basso,
35,
Fairfield,
87,
Lim,
32,
Mulpower,
0,
Carter,
32,
Ballard,
87,
Gaff,
91.
and your 0 for Mulpower.
There was nothing.
All right, so I just had to double check because. All right, so the process in which we are actually evaluating these are based on weight. So I had to take each one of your scores and give them a ranking from the first place to last place, and then add them all together, basically. So in this case, 21 submittals, then the highest score will be 21 points and down forward. If someone had 20 points, and then the next one also has 20 points, they would be 20 points each. They would score, the same score. And then the following one would score one less, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
All right?
So the highest score is considered as 1?
No, 21, the highest number of submittals.
Okay.
So let me see if I can.
I'm saying, but you're ranking them from like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So the highest score would be considered as 1.
Not in this case, because we're adding points to the highest ranking. So if there were 21 submittals, the highest score will receive all 21 points.
Okay,
The second one will
I got
receive
you.
20.
I got you.
If the third one also receives 20 points, then the fourth one will receive 18,
Okay,
because there are 2 places on 20. So that's the way the weighting points work.
Okay.
So
Can you, I'm sorry, explain why you got the weighted points again?
we did the weighted points because last year we decided to do the weighting scoring based on what was
So nobody would skew it. So
Thank you.
basically, I'm a super hard evaluator, and I gave everybody zeros just because I'm very hard to please. And you're super easy, and so you gave everybody 100. Our scores really affect those artists. But if the most I can give is 21 points, and the least I can give is 0 or 1 point, then it like balances out.
Okay, all right, thank you.
No problem.
Do you have to do it manually or, but would usually CodaWorks do it for us or not?
No, not CodaWorks.
To-
The way that CodaWorks did it is not the same way that I was trying to do in purchasing. So I'm like, okay, that's why I needed your scores earlier on, so I could, weight them out.
Okay. So we'll know who it is next meeting.
It's basically.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Oh, no, not the next meeting, on this meeting.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was just reviewing the scores to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so in this case, right now, we have Leslie Tharp and Sarah Hines with 100 points total. And I wish, Leslie Tharp. This lets me
Okay.
unhide. I'm just seeing if this lets me sort it. Yes. Okay. Oh, come on, where am I?
Do their local artists and their grade.
All right. So we have Leslie Tharp and Sarah Hines with 100 points, Craig Gray with 90, and Kavi Allard with 90.
Craig and who?
Kavi. So according to the CTA, you are supposed to take 2 alternatives to the BOCC. But since you have 2 artists that have the same score on second place, I would recommend to take all 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So can you tell me again, who were the 2 100s? You had Leslie Tharp as 100 and
No,
Sarah.
you have Leslie as 100 and Craig Gray and Kavi Allard with 90. Now, since
Okay.
they're only supposed to do 2, but they have 2 90s, I would recommend to take all 3.
So you had Craig Gray as a 90, and who was the other 90? I'm sorry.
Kavi, Kavi.
Okay, hang on just a second. I'm just a lot of submittals here. An awful lot. I know I got her here. I just, for some reason, Kavi. Okay, hang on just a second. I just want to see what you guys are doing. I want to see what you guys are doing to me.
You gave her a 50.
Yes, yeah, I've got everything printed out so I can look and see. Okay. Well, I will just tell you the only thing, and I like that, but we were looking at some really anatomically correct stuff because that's, these people out here are going to look at it and go, that's a weird looking horse. But even though it was beautiful, and I know they have those things everywhere in Ocala that this particular group. So anyway, okay, thank you. That's what I needed to know.
No problem. So I'm still gonna need a motion from.
So if we could have a motion to accept for the Leslie Tharp / Sarah Hines, Craig Gray, and Kavi Allard, a motion to accept and send to the Board of County Commission for
I so move.
a second on the motion.
Second.
Can we have, now, does anybody like to discuss the applicants again or from the audience? Do we have any applicants on the phone? Okay, so seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Good, motion carries.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Right, which one's next?
Are you going to be presenting these items on the next board meeting?
Not the next one, it'll be the last one in April at the earliest.
Okay. Just to make sure they have everything ready.
Yes.
All right. So
So the next one is
We chose 3 for the submittals.
The next one is
So
20.
Alan, you can leave now, you don't have to stay.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Have
have
a
a good
nice
night.
evening.
Bye. All right, and
That's something they probably should have added in the criteria, exactly what they wanted. If they just wanted all metal, then they should have just said, that's all we want is metal.
But this is metal, isn't her piece metal?
Yeah, but, you know, it seemed like he had something else in
I
mind,
think
but,
he had the traditional horse look, like you said, like that Apollo.
but I'm saying, when they make the, you know, when they putting out the application, the criteria, if that's exactly what you're looking for, you need to say that's what you're looking for. That keeps us from going through 100 people. You understand? And then you can automatically say, okay, they don't make because they're doing plastic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if that whatever you're looking for, that's what they should put in their application. This is what we want. Period. I want a dog that's standing on their hind legs. Period. You know, and then let people come with that. Not, you know. I
We
don't know.
still got a lot of horses, so it was really limited creativity for this one.
all right. So next we are going to be talking about 21975 outdoor sculpture and indoor mural for IFS Extension Office. All right, Ms. Carroll?
You want me to just go down?
All right, let's start with Adam Goldberg.
Who?
92.
92. I had 87.
Wait,
Oh, wait a second.
975.
10-5.
Yeah.
975.
Yeah. You got
Oh, you're starting from the second sheet?
Oh my goodness gracious, let me, man.
Yeah, because it goes, you had it like that.
Okay, so it was not.
So Adam is on the second sheet.
Okay. I made all sorts of mistakes this time, didn't I?
Ah.
Let's start with the second sheet.
Start with the second sheet.
Anyway, that takes work.
How did that even happen? Sorry. Okay, so Adam Goldberg.
92,
92. Adrian.
99,
Brenda Council.
37.
37. Where did I get these from?
They're on 975, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I had something completely different in there. I don't know where I got those from. Oh, God. Gray?
85,
Drake Arnold?
30,
Heart Space Art?
93,
Elucia?
89,
James Gabbard?
82,
Jeff Whipple?
37,
Jennifer Garrett?
25,
Mimi Stoker?
30,
Rachel Lewis?
30,
Roberto Delgado?
50,
And I'm assuming 50 again?
40, no, it was one different.
Oh.
49,
Okay. Sabrina?
25,
Sarah Hines?
92,
Sophie Tuttle?
22,
Stacy?
90, 27,
Suji?
77,
And Wendy?
70.
70. Okay, so I'll need to rework this real quick. What are we doing?
Do you need explanation for the zeros?
As long as they were not the total, you are good.
I do just want to say for the record, there are many that I gave very low scores to, and it's not because I don't believe that they're not great artists or they can't do good work. It's just that the proposals of what they were going to do was just not there. and it makes, I have a question about it when we finish this entire process, because I just like, to me, I don't know if they were submitting because they just had to submit their credentials, or did they actually have to put a complete proposal? So if you got a complete proposal, then you got a higher score. If you didn't, you got a smaller score. So I do want that on the record.
Gotcha.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
I think when I was looking at the thing, the instruction, it wasn't clear, really. It wasn't really telling them exactly what they needed to submit. It kind of left it open to submit, so I think if a person never applied for art in public places before, they probably would just put exactly what they asked for. And when I looked at it, they really didn't,
So I just,
it wasn't there. Put it away. It didn't say we need A, B, C, D, F, G. It didn't say that on it, so they only asked
so I
for
don't think it's fair to the
proposal.
applicant that if they didn't, for us to judge them, if they don't, if we're comparing one person, like I gave a really high score because they just did it all, but then somebody else who's just as good, they didn't do it all.
Right.
Their score is lower just because it's missing. They don't have the budget. They don't have the timeline. They don't have the installation.
Because technically, it didn't really ask for that.
Yeah, we shouldn't
But
have to
on
score them.
But on our score sheet is there, so I score the people that actually, I guess, you can tell who has the experience, because the person that has the experience, they're gonna automatically put the budget, the timeline.
Or not, because we did have that one applicant, if you guys remember, that said, why should I sit here, because I get paid to do this, I'm not gonna put together a complete proposal. And then, as you're saying, that we didn't ask
Goodbye.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just, that's my.
The budget and timeline are part of.
You are totally right, absolutely.
The budget and timeline are part of the
Yeah.
CPR.
There are two types of calls. One is REFIP, which is request for proposals when they have to design, and the second is request for qualifications when they just show they pass board. And we have to make our decision based on what they're capable to, what they are present. So we have the criteria that assumes that they have to submit the proposal. That's why they get zeros everywhere where it is about the proposal. And then automatically, guys who submitted something, they get high, even though they may not be the best in all this selection. So I would propose, I don't know if it's eligible, but maybe if we all have some kind of understanding of who were really best for us, maybe we could discuss them additionally if they didn't go through.
Well, you know what I also did? I took the person's name and I Googled. Because I Googled to see if they had a website. I Googled to see, because like if you've done something before, you Google it, you Google the person's name, you got pictures of the things that they have done, you got different stuff come up that says, well, this person blah 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 blah. So that's how I was able to.
I'm gonna let that pass as long as you did that for every single artist.
I did. I did that for every single last one. I did it for every single last
And the
one.
only thing I would say about that is that
I did for
that
everybody.
satisfies, criteria number 2 is the prior work, creative, aesthetically appealing and inspiring, because they submitted prior work, or you went to their website or their special electronic page. But again, if they wasn't required in the call to give us the budget and stuff, then I don't think we should be scoring them for that.
It's your back, it's on the table.
This is what I mentioned in the previous meeting, but we can't do that this time, right? Because we have already scored it. And
Because you have already decided on.
yeah, but on the second
But those
one,
are
we
my
should
scores,
just
but my scores
reconsider.
does not really reflect, what I think some of the artists are capable of submitting.
We,
All right,
maybe we can,
Yeah.
I hope that my full proposal was reviewed. I applied under the original deadline last fall. I had to email the proposal to Lyra because CodaWorks didn't give space for a full proposal. When the deadline was extended, CodaWorks did not let me amend my application online. Lyra said that the jurors would have the full proposal that
I
I
don't remember seeing her. I do not remember
was that?
seeing
What do you mean?
the full proposal.
Who was that?
That's
Jen
Jennifer
Garrett.
Garrett.
Jen, that's
Yeah,
what I
she
heard.
sent me everything, and then I sent Gina so she can,
Oh, yeah. I
on the
went to-
link.
it said-
share file with all
Right.
the extra stuff.
But she
Yeah,
has
I
a
went to
website,
them.
and I went to everybody's website. If you had a website, I was able to find you, and I was able to go there and look.
So-
If you didn't have a website, well, oh well.
Well, while you're going,
I went by whatever
But
that
you
you
didn't look at the
uploaded.
proposals then?
Huh?
But you did look at their proposals, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. No, I'm a
Make that
researcher.
clear, sorry.
No, understand me, I'm a researcher, and that researcher skills, is a skill. So I'm gonna read what's on, where you sent us at. I looked at all their work over there, what they put in, what they didn't put in. I made my notes, and what was missing, if something was missing from over there, I go and look up their name, Google their names, and I look and say, okay, well, this person seemed like blah, 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 they can handle the job, and I score accordingly.
Yeah, no, but
But
I just want
if they didn't have a proposal over there, they got 0. If they didn't have, certain things, they got a 0. But when it came to the first 3, like the first 2, experience, prior creativity and stuff like that, and was their work available, was it visual? Because their prior work, their website can tell you basically if they have that a certain type of skill.
Now, I just want to make sure that you had all the chance to go into share file and see all of the.
Oh, I did all that, because
I just want to make sure.
I think
I need to
I
go
asked
back
you to
if I
send me
can.
this thing. I looked at everything.
Okay,
I would like to go back and go through SharePoint while you're talking to them and revisit Jennifer Garrett's score, because I didn't see it. So if she submitted it, then I would like to look at it.
so right now you do have the chance to change your score.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep going and
Yeah,
revising
you
all the
can
rest of the
go ahead
scores. All right.
May I make a comment at some point on this issue, if it's appropriate?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes, please. And if you could identify yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Evan, and I did apply to the West Lawn call, and I know we're not there yet, but I decided to come to the meeting today because I felt like there was some miscommunication or something amiss with the call and the way it was conducted. And it sounds like other people had that problem too, and the last comment that, Gina read, that artist, encountered the same thing I did, but they took it upon themselves to email the proposal, I guess, to Lyra. But basically, what happened, the breakdown is that the public call for proposals that the county sent out had all the materials that they wanted, and it was requesting proposals and all that. But the instructions said to do it through CodaWorks. So we went to CodaWorks and submitted everything that they would allow on that site. And the only things they would allow us to upload on the site were resumes, portfolio, and statement of intent, which is more like a request for qualification. And it also said on the CodaWorks website, submit these materials now, and then the board will get back to you for the rest of the application document. So I'm reading that and I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense, because most of the time you go through an RFQ, and then you get paid for the RFP, the proposal. Because it takes a lot of time and work to make the proposal, and, do all the sketching, make all the budget, write all the text. So most of the time, that is a paid thing. And so that made sense to me. Like, okay, CodaWorks is asking for this stuff now. There was no place to submit a proposal.
So there was no space to attach like proposal for
None,
done.
none whatsoever. And so it
Well,
sounds like to a lot of
Excuse me,
people.
can I chime in for a second?
Yes.
So, and I'm sorry, was that Evan speaking?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Evan, for example, I got what you submitted into Coda, but I also got other PDFs that you submitted that were given to me in a separate file, separate from Coda. So we had 2 different files, and I don't know if this is a Lyra or a Gina question, but did you take PDFs from Coda and include it in that file you sent us? And
I
then,
included everything I could find.
okay, but I'm just saying there were some things in the shared file that were not in CODA.
Right.
So as I was
Correct.
going through everything, just to be careful and to make sure that I saw everything that each artist had submitted, I looked at both of those things. And I only gave someone a 0 in one of the scoring categories if what the application asked for was nowhere to be found in either what they submitted or what you gave to me in the share file or in CODA.
Okay, so the
I will say though that there were lots of artists who followed every step of what was requested and gave it to us in absolute complete form. So, you know, part as scorers, we can only score what's in front of us. I'm not poo-pooing the idea of doing more research on the internet, but ultimately, part of this, when we're spending taxpayer dollars, is also looking at the quality of the application. That is important also, and showing that somebody has an understanding of working with public art. So, you know, I'm just, you know, we can always make things clearer, but I can tell you for the majority of the applications were complete.
Yes, so I can tell that there were things in the share file that were not in CodaWorks. That is correct. The thing is that many artists in the previous calls between 974 and 975 had emailed me about that, hey, I don't have space for this. And I put out the addenda that they could add supplemental information by emailing me.
Right.
That was not something that was done for 977. It is not in the CTA, and the only addendum that I have does not include that clarification because it was not asked for 977. I guess in the future I should make that change in the call to artist document itself. But we still have a lot to score. If you don't mind, we can continue on with 975. Evan, I believe yours is 977. So once we're done with this one, we can go into more detailed discussion if you like.
Okay, thank you for hearing my comment, and just to point out that there seems like there is some systemic problem with this process.
Yeah. All right, Ms.
May I go back to my score?
Yes, for Ms.
For Derek, 79.
79. All right, thank you. Let me highlight this just to make sure that I have to fix it. All right, Ms. Chelsea, starting with Adam Goldberg.
I feel a little weird about my scores because for everything everyone is saying, I just want to echo that. There's no way we can remedy this.
Well, I have a proposal. What if we put more weight on the criteria like creativity, past experience, and something rather than those are related to proposal?
The thing is that we cannot change the evaluation criteria at this
No.
moment.
Not the criteria, but the way that is put on the numbers. So, for example, if we, you know,
For future calls, yeah,
For
not
future.
for this one.
okay.
No, exactly.
I will say, for future ones, we definitely need to, I'm an educator, and a rubric needs to match you have to ask your students for what you're grading on, and same with anything like this, like people put so much effort into these proposals, I feel really kind of dirty that this isn't, what people thought it was, so, just for the record, say that, but, I'll share my scores, I guess. Goldberg, 95, Teak, 99.
Yep.
Council 36.
Yep.
Gray 91.
Yep.
Arnold 36. Art Space 31.
All right.
Man, that one.
I had those questions. Yeah, I had 35.
Let me do the math real quick. Make sure. Yeah, I had 31.
Okay.
Man 99. Gabbert 95. Beautiful 86. Garrett 88.
Another discrepancy in here.
The 88.
Okay. All right.
Stocker and Durellen 88. Lewis and Soufre, 86.
86.
Delgado, 91.
Okay.
Sabrina, 83. Hines Tharp, 88. Tuttle, 46. Stacy, 88.
Mm-hmm.
Gassman, 87.
Mm-hmm.
Lim, 32.
All right.
Klemper, 82.
All right. Miss Cindy, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, Goldberg, 82. League, or however you pronounce it, 78. Council, 72. Gray, 78. Arnold, 70. Hartspace, 57. Mann, 74. Gabbert, 85. Whipple, 87. Garrett, 72. Stocker and Dunellen, 43. Rachel Lewis and Ruby, 57. Delgado, 65. Sabrina, 70. Sarah Hines, 58. Tuttle, 63. Stacy, 82. Stephanie, 62. Lim, 50. Kilper, 69.
All right, just to make sure, Sarah Hines, 58 or 68?
Hines. Hines and Leslie Tharp, 58.
Oh, 58. Okay, thank you. All right, David?
Starting with Adam,
Yep, please.
74.
All right, speak.
Adrian, 82.
Mm-hmm.
Council, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Gray, 72.
Mm-hmm.
Drake, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Heart Space, or, yeah, that's Heart Space. 77.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 77.
Mm-hmm.
Gabbert, 83. Jeff Whipple, or Whippin, 9. Jennifer Garrett, 87. Mimi and Lauren, 87. Rachel, 92. Robert Delgado, 57. Sabrina, 57. Hines and Leslie Thorpe, 88. Tuttle, 9. Stacy, 83. Stephanie Gassman, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Lim, 62. And Wendy Kemper, 69.
All right. Ms. Arena?
Adam, 68. Adrian, 46. Brenda, 34.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, 61.
Mm-hmm.
Drake, 35.
Mm-hmm.
Space, 21.
Mm-hmm.
Ilusha, 88.
Mm-hmm.
James, 64. Jeff, 17. Jennifer, 39. Mimi, 28. Rachel, 23. Roberto Delgado, 64 and 0 for the double record. Sabrina, 27. Sarah and Leslie, 60. Sophie, 37. Stacy, 31. Stephanie, 51. Sujin, 55. And Wendy, 22.
All right. And I can't recall if Megan's going.
No, she's not on the call.
Okay, so I'll have to delete these. All right, Dr. Q.
Okay, go Adam, 70, Adrian, 68, Brenda, 25, Greg, 75, Drake, 30, Heartspace, 25, Man, 90, James, 95, Whipple, 30, Jennifer, 56, Mimi Stalker, 20, Louis, 20, Roberto, 20, was it Sabrina, 9, no, 25. No, I'm trying to read what the title here. But 9, no, 25. Sarah, 95. Sophia I'm saying it right, 25. Stacy, 30. Stephanie, I guess, is 47. Sujin, 10. And Wendy, 25.
So, I think I know what's going on with my spreadsheet.
Okay.
I think I left in here the old scores. Yep. Mhm. 18, 17, 16. Failure. Mary. Virtual. Friends. Info. Photo. Okay. One. And then the same thing I have to do to make sure that carols are in the right place. Alright, 19, 17, 14, 8, 4. Did I miss anyone? Okay. Not awkward at all the silence.
You.
I know. No pressure, right?
No pressure.
All right, so in this one, you also have for 2 alternatives, You also have a tie, in this case for first place. You have Elisha Mayan and James Gabbard tied at first place with 109 points. And then third place in any case, Ms. Sarah Hines and Leslie Tharp with 108 points.
Okay, we have man and who?
James Gabbard
Okay.
and Sarah Hines and Leslie Tharp.
So here is the question. If we have the same artists leading in two different art projects, can we select them for one that we find more suitable and give preferences to other leaders?
That sounds fair.
County commissioners makes the final choice. They can select the same artist to do all of them.
So it's possible to be
technically,
selected
they're
twice?
So technically, they're gonna get your ranking, but honestly, if they like the one that you guys did not like at all, like your last rank, they could pick the last rank.
Oh, okay.
So you guys just make a recommendation, these are the top ranked ones, but they can pick any of them.
Yep.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. So of these three, the top ranking ones, we had two proposals, basically. One for an indoor mural and one for outside sculpture. What if one of these, like I'm looking at one of them, and they don't have a recommendation for an inside mural?
All right.
And that's a good point too, Cindy. So if,
Let me look at what the call to artist says, because I remember that question being asked.
because they're different disciplines, and so artists who do murals are not necessarily artists who do outdoor sculptures.
They're usually different artists.
And I asked that when we started way back the first time when they submitted, because a lot of them didn't qualify for both, or they didn't turn in proposals or background information for both a mural and outside sculpture.
Hindsight being 2020, they should have probably been two different scoring processes.
Mhm.
So if you look at I'm not sure how to pronounce that, man. I think theirs is just for an outdoor sculpture, and it doesn't say anything about an indoor mural. So how will we get that if this person is selected?
So did James Gabbard or Sarah Hines and Leslie Thorpe, did they do an indoor mural?
Yes,
Gabbard did.
Hines and Thorpe did too, I think, yeah.
So what the recommendation could say is that the top ranked, could go to any of them for the outdoor sculpture, but then as far as the mural, it would only go to Gabbard or Hines and Tharp. Because Mann didn't do a mural, if I understood all of that correctly.
Yes, correct.
I don't see where Hines and Tharp, their letter says proposal for outdoor sculpture.
Oh, I might be wrong. I don't have it.
So did Gabbard, only Gabbard did an indoor
Let me see.
mural? So he did both, maybe?
I only remember a sculpture for Gabbard as well.
Do we only?
And I was wondering why, because it seems like the person just said, oh, okay, here's three CTAs, if I'm just gonna put, I'm gonna take my application, I'm gonna just put them in all and then see what I get. But it's not necessarily a mural.
Okay.
Perhaps, I have a suggestion. Perhaps while we're scoring the next grant, the scorers on this one could decide what their top 3 recommendations are for each one. Or maybe, Lyra, you could figure that out through the scores so that you have 3 recommendations for a mural and 3 recommendations for a sculpture.
I agree with that.
Okay, but I'm gonna need a motion from the council.
Okay. Now,
Because,
can you repeat your suggestion, so I know how to prepare?
Well,
So
since you in effect have 2 works of art that the county commission wants a recommendation, a mural and a sculpture. So how about giving them 3 of each, 3 of the outdoor sculptures, 3 of the murals, it might require the scorers to look back and I was suggesting they could do that while we're scoring the next grant. They can go back, they can look at their scores, they can still make it score based, but maybe each one of them could give you what they think are their 3 favorite, I don't know, 3 favorite murals, 3 favorite sculptures. And if it works neatly into the scoring, then that's fine. If it doesn't, in these kinds of things, you're allowed to change your recommendation. You can be convinced, persuaded. So maybe at this point, look at from the high scorers, just look at what your 3 favorite, each scorer, look at your 3 favorite murals, your 3 favorite sculptures. And then you add all those up, and whoever has the most votes become the top 3 in each category.
So I think we've already evaluated, and so Lara just needs to figure out who also did for murals, and the top 3 scoring murals are the 3 that go to the board.
Right, yeah.
Some are,
have everyone given her scores? You've got all the scores from everyone?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but I don't know that Lara knows which ones are.
No, no.
Right, because at this point, because when I scored, like I said, I looked at both sources that you guys have sent me, and then plus I went and Googled. I took the time to Google these people, and some of them do both. Okay,
But not most of them.
some of them do both.
some of them do wall art, which is the usage of kind of sculptural elements like glass or metal as a mural, so they attach.
But when
as a
I
panel.
Google and go to some of these websites, some of them show that they do more than one particular thing that they put into the sources that Gina Jim has shared. So that's how I made my scoring. So
Okay, so
I think it would be hard.
For the sculpture part now?
Okay. So we already did the motion on the sculpture. We need a motion now on the mural.
I don't know who made the motion and who seconded.
Wasn't it David? Did you?
So we did for the ag and equestrian center, which is
974. So
Right.
we're on 975.
Mhm.
So we need a motion to, first of all, before I get, do we have a motion to accept Alyssa Mann, James Gabbard, Leslie Stark, Sarah Hines as our recommendation for the CTA 975?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, now let's discuss this. Mark suggested maybe going through, looking at our scores. Would anybody like to revisit any
No.
of their scores? Okay, any comments from the audience? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and take a vote. All in favor of these candidates moving forward, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries. All right, now, the last one.
So what are we doing with the, mural?
Those three go.
I think that those 3 have to figure out how to do a mural.
No.
I have an issue. I have an issue with that because we're allotted money for art for our building and for our outdoors. And if we go with this ranking and they've only submitted a mural or a outdoor sculpture, then are we not going to get our mural for indoor?
Can I have a question? I have a question.
Yes.
When the criteria for this was written, did it say, did it actually explain that it was a person that had to be 2 different people, or or a group of people, or organization could do this, or
So,
what was it?
no, the CPA just called for a mural and a sculpture.
Okay.
It did not say that, okay, so according to this, this amount is for both pieces and may be awarded to 1 or more artists.
There you go.
So of the 3 artists that came in that are being recommended, did they all 3 submit both?
Let me
Sarah Hines, Leslie Stark submitted for both.
And
So we have 2 murals and 3 sculptures in this recommendation, is that correct?
I would, wait, who's the second one?
James Gabbard, I believe, is the sculpture.
So
Yeah.
you wanna make them your next motion to recommend the two that did the murals to the board?
Yes. How does that sound? So, we'll make a motion to forward, our next recommendation will be for CTA 975 to recommend the ones that propose murals to the board for consideration. Somebody like to second that, or would you like to let that motion die?
And this,
Can we just,
Well, you can't make the motion because you're the chair.
Right, that's why I said, so would somebody like to make the motion?
Right now, what I have is someone is making a motion to recommend Mann and Hines and Tharp as the top two ranked murals submitted. So I have one motion that's for the three to go for the, sculptures. This one is for two to go for the murals.
No one wants to make that motion.
hey, I have a,
No,
still have,
so I feel like it is, you know, as an artist, okay, I feel like that's a little unfair. At this moment, at this time, in this moment, we make these changes, you know, to fit our desires. And that's unfair to the artist, because if I was submitting, I was like, oh, no, this, it's not fair.
well,
Because you didn't say that in the beginning. You didn't, now you want to change it to fit how you feel.
okay, so
And it's not
I
right.
do have a recommendation. It probably won't be the most popular one, but we can have it rebid as two different CTAs.
Okay, I agree with that.
We just have to make sure that we get all of the stuff.
Okay,
As a mural, can we
I
accept
agree with
an
that.
artist
I can go with that.
applied to the wall? Which, if the artist, like Leslie, for example, that they work with the glass, they can do something attached to the wall, not necessarily using acrylic paint. In this case, the artist would be able to do both. We could at least ask who among those that we
well, I
selected
agree,
can do both.
I agree with Leslie, let's send it
thing
back,
is-
let's send it back, you
the
know, let's,
thing
let's
is
do
that-
it over.
The way you're looking at it right now, of taking these three for murals and these three for sculptures, is a little bit of a slippery slope when it comes to procurement. And we have to mind that as well at this moment in time. So my best bet right now would be to rebid it.
Yes,
I agree with that.
I think, yes, so could somebody make a motion that we do a rebid for CTA 21975?
David, I'll second.
Would like, I'll make that motion. Am I able to make that motion?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to make it, because I do think that's a good idea. It also gives us a little more time to review everything and make it a little bit more, what succinct or maybe accurate. That way there's no gray in between. I'm not saying that there is big gaps of gray in between, but I do understand where the artist is coming from that standpoint as well, because those things weren't discussed beforehand, but I also understand from the council's point, that might not have been a bridge we crossed at that point. Does that make sense?
So just keep in mind that these will be,
Can Sarah make that motion?
Yes.
Okay.
She's on the.
Yes, ma'am. That was me.
I know she's on the council, but I know she wasn't scoring, so that's all.
Yeah, so Lyra, is that a weird technical thing that she needs to be a scorer to make this motion?
well, she is part of the council.
She does.
No, I don't think I'm the one to make that call right now.
That's fine, I'm happy with it.
All right, so
Okay,
can we have
so
a second for Sarah's motion?
But, and just to be clear, it should be, I mean, I'm probably speaking out of turn in here because there's a motion on the floor, but two different CTAs, just to be clear, one for the mural, one for the sculpture.
Correct. And,
But also
and that's where the
in the
money should
motion.
be also
So
divided.
I think,
You know, we
Yeah.
should put money, this amount of money goes to the mural, and this amount of money goes to the sculpture, and it's no like, oh, well, this amount of money for the whole package.
so, okay.
For the whole package, I'm going for the whole package.
Okay,
And the
so let me make sure I'm
sculpture
clear.
needs much more money than the mural.
Right.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
rebid 974 and 975.
No.
No.
975.
975 and it's.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just
It's
nine,
breaking
seven,
into
But I
five.
need a second, I need somebody.
A second.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so just
I'm so-
9-7,
Correct.
My apologies if I talked out of turn, because I'm still learning all this as well and making sure I'm learning my position too, so.
Okay, so since we have a motion on the floor to send this one out for rebid, CTA 21975, Sarah made the motion. Do we have someone that's willing to second it? Okay, Chelsea second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Hi.
So can I also ask, can we make sure that when the rebid, the language in the RFP matches the rubric that we score with?
Yeah.
Okay. We can make adjustments to the rubric.
Yeah, now that it's on the floor, that you are rebidding it out, we can do any changes that you like. So if you want to change the way that you do evaluation criteria,
We can do that for this one?
yes, you can do it for the new one.
And plus, can we add, can we make sure that they know that when they put their thing in, they got to have all these.
I don't think we should use go to work person.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
No,
Yeah, I guess.
Do you mind, David, do you mind withdrawing your motion? Because I do have a motion that passed unanimously to recommend Mann, Gabbert, Hines, and Thorpe as the top three, so I need you to withdraw that.
I withdraw the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, I think this is the perfect opportunity, to make sure that we get the evaluation criteria.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so.
Question.
Yes?
When I was listening to what Mark was saying previously, I thought that was I don't know if this is a question, but it kind of is. I liked what Mark was saying previously. Yes, I do think that we should do our research, but I do think it's very important that artists get all the information together and have a completed application. Because we shouldn't have to go digging that deep unless we choose to. So like if there was things missing, like a website or if we had, I don't know if we asked for social media links or anything like that, those things should be provided for us. That way it is complete. And they know what the expectations are for it. If that's something that's not in there, we can add that in there. Can we do that?
Yes.
So what I might suggest is if you have ideas on how this process could be made better, email me, because, we're gonna have to bring the draft called Artist back to you guys at your May meeting to look at it, make sure, we understood correctly. So if you have ideas, send it to me, and then we'll try and meld it all together, and then we'll get it back to you for your May meeting, and we'll put it out on the screen.
And that's you, Gina, that's talking? I can't see it. Okay,
Yes.
cool, I will.
She's right behind me.
I can't see, I just see the cell phone icon. I don't see into the conference room. Thank you, ladies.
No problem.
All right. Let's on.
Okay, so we are going into 977. Carol, I did not get a chance to finish up your scores.
Okay, so I have my preliminary scores that I sent, and then I have a revised score. So should I just give you my revised, or do you want my preliminary?
You can give me your revised.
Okay. So, who do you have first? Bill?
We can do bills.
Okay, 80?
80. Evan,
82?
82.
Barris, 80?
80.
Jim, 91?
91.
Kirk, 80?
Mike Hansel.
No, Donald? Okay, Mike, 72?
Okay. Coleman.
89?
Sabrina.
23? Scott?
Scott Mayer.
64?
Okay. Fairfield.
28?
Lynn.
27?
Terrence.
99?
What do you got next?
I want to make a comment about Evan. Evan was one of those applications that I really would love to have seen the whole proposal, because I really kind of liked it. So, his score probably would have went higher had I been able to see it all. Then I had some that's not on the grid. I had Tony Stallard.
I have them here.
Okay, I didn't add it up, I'm sorry. Hold
No,
on.
no.
you wanna go to somebody else, I just want to add them real quick.
Ms.
So
Chelsea?
let me just go over these names. I had, Delgado again.
Yes,
I had Witzel,
yes.
Ballard,
Mhm.
Bobby, and then I realized Terrence was the same as Terrence on the other sheet.
I know.
Okay, okay. So let me just add their numbers real quick.
And you also have, Bobby Cicadas?
And Bobby, yes,
Okay.
I have those.
Yeah, they were, I guess, in the second page,
Okay,
which was kind of weird because I tried.
okay.
Okay, so I'll go with Chelsea then.
Fields, I had 95.
Mm-hmm.
Gabika, I had 61, for the same, I probably would have scored higher if I could have seen your entire, packet, sorry. Curtis, 86, Galucci, 95, Cease, 86,
Mm-hmm.
Gialanella, 30, Ansel, 89,
Wait, 82 for Janalila, okay.
Coleman, 88, Sabina, 32, Meyer, 90, Fairfield, 36, Lim, 32,
Mm-hmm.
Poe, 100,
Mm-hmm.
Delgado, 86, Stallard, 80, Weitzel, 83, and Zucchiles, 89.
Okay. David?
Fields. $77.
Mm-hmm.
Evan, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis, 56.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, 72. Kirk, 56.
Mm-hmm.
Donald, 75. Hansel, 57.
Mm-hmm.
Coleman, 71.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina, 9. Mayor, 40. Fairfield, 80. Lim, 9. Terrence Ho, 67.
Mm-hmm.
Delgado, 9. Stollard, 71. Witzel, 9. And Bobby, 64.
All right. Irina?
Duranda, 94, Evan, 35, Garrett, 67, Jim, 71, Kirk, 52, Donald, 33, Mike, 75, Ryan, 84, Stefan, 55, Sujin, 55, Terrence, 94, Rachel, 23, Roberto, 64, Sabrina, 27, Sarah, 60, Sophie, 37, Stacy, 31, Stephanie, 51, Eugene.
Wait,
That was again, right? It's just, yeah,
I'm,
it's just.
I'm lost.
I got
on the
confused.
scoring.
Yeah, sorry. It's because the print on 2 pages. So just ask me what is missing, yeah.
Okay, so let me try. Do you have Bobby in there?
Bobby is, 1 second. Bobby is 72.
Okay, Donna Gilanilla? I think he's 33.
Yeah, so those tables, they're like a little bit mixed.
So next time, it would be really helpful if this chart matched up with the score sheet in the same order.
Yeah. What's next?
So you said 33?
Donald, 17.
Oh, 17?
Uh-huh.
Duende 94.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Evan 35.
Yeah.
Gareth 67. Weitzel 45. Galucci 71.
Mhm.
Kirk 52.
Mhm.
Hainsel 75.
Mhm.
Then my question is, your Sabrina has 0 and Scott 0.
Yes, because there is nothing. Mhm.
Okay. And then Stephen 55, Liam 55, Terrence Ho 94, and Tony Stallard 70.
Mhm.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, Mark?
Okay, Bobby, 81.
Okay.
Donald, 86. Duende, 87, but I don't know if anyone else ran into this, but when I was looking at Duende, they appeared to be an Alachua County company, but on my score sheet, they didn't get the 5 extra points for Alachua County.
Yes, they were supposed to get it, correct.
Okay, so does everyone
Yes,
need to add 5 points to Duende?
Yes. Yes, they would.
So, okay, then my 87 becomes a 92 for Duende.
Mm-hmm.
Evan, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, since Evan is there, I'll also say I was intrigued by your proposal, but you left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the scoring categories completely blank. So I would love to see this proposal again sometime with those things filled in. Hold on, let me finish and then I'll go back. So where are we? Curtis?
Gareth? Yes.
82.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, can you read the names off for me so I don't have to look back and forth?
No problem. James Witzel?
Witzel is 54.
Galucci?
Galucci is 79.
Cease?
Cease is 70.
Hainsel?
Hensel is 80.
Delgado?
Delgado is 64.
Ryan Coleman?
Coleman is 83.
Sabrina?
18.
Scott Mayer?
78.
Stephen Fairfield?
94.
Eugene Lim?
18.
Terrence Ho?
84.
Tony Stallard?
I'm sorry, what was that last one?
Tony Stallard?
61.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, Dr. Q?
Okay, let's see, build, 95. I changed my score for Evan to 27. Curtis, 27. Jim, 40. Kirk, 42. Donald, 95. Michael, 50. Coleman, 17. Sabrina, 10. Scott, 52. Fairfield, 42. Sudan, 10. Terrace Hall, 70. Roberto, 10. Tony, 25. James, 10. And Bobby, 31.
31 for Bobby.
Because I had to give him that extra 5.
All right. Yeah.
Bobby doesn't get the extra 5. He's not a county resident. It was Duende Builds
The bills,
that got the extra 5.
you gave him 95, right?
So which one?
Duende bills, the first one?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extra 5.
He gets the extra 5?
Yeah, Duende.
100?
Okay.
But Bobby does not.
Okay.
Hey, before you add up, do all the adding, can we have a discussion about a couple of these?
I still have to get Carol's score before we continue.
Bobby Dent is
Oh.
26, original score.
Sorry.
Yes, I think that's, thank you.
Okay.
All right, which one you need me, okay, so Dwayne, for me, needs to go to 85.
Yes, I fixed that.
And then what are you missing?
Bobby Socady,
Bobby is 93,
93. Donald Gialanello, I think he's on the other page,
51,
51. James Whittle,
53,
Delgado,
53,
and Tony Stallard.
59.
All right.
Did you get Terrence Hope?
Terrence Hill, 99.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So open to discussion?
Yes, that's good.
Mark,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question about Stephen Fairfield.
Okay.
I'm noticing a really wide variety of scores there, from 17 to 94. And that one sticks out to me because when I was trying to score it, I was getting ready to give it a very low score until I went into the supplemental documents that were sent to us all, the zip file, and the application was fully fleshed out in the zip file. It even included a 3D model of what he was proposing that you could turned. So I guess my question for example, for David, no, not for David, for Carol, did you see those supplemental documents?
I went to the
That-
zip file and I did not remember seeing Stephen, but I don't mind taking a look at it.
Can we pull it up? Is it possible
Yeah.
to pull it up on the screen? You guys know what the address is?
Why are we doing that?
Is it
So
possible?
that we can change our scores if we see
Yeah,
see
'cause-
supplemental
Yeah,
material.
'cause I was a 28 for Stephen.
I was pretty low for him too.
My 42 stay.
And if you go by just what's on the cool website, then I could see those low scores. But I actually called Lyra and asked if there was differences between the zip file and the website, and that's when I discovered there were. So when I explored the zip file, he has quite a detailed and complete application that includes, really, in some ways, the most detailed rendering of what he was proposing.
Let me see if I can get it from here.
Am I able to share my screen?
All right, so here's let me see if I can share this because I found it in my file, so I got it. Come on, buddy. Oh,
Can you all see that?
I've never seen that.
So that's big. Her shoulders are coming out of the ground there. And I'm assuming that megaphone will be pointed right at the county commission to let us know that her voice wants to be heard.
let me pull it up again in here.
You got the plan?
I'm still scared.
So I think he did the same thing with the testing assembly, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is the same proposal for both?
No.
The
Same.
3D will be sent.
Okay.
I can also, I can share my screen with the other stuff that was in the zip file, if that would be helpful.
So,
He gave a detailed timeline, a detailed budget. He had all kinds of incredible work that he had done for other places. So I'm just concerned that if the expectation was we used both of those resources to do this scoring, and it's called Be Heard, and on this document, he goes into detail about the concept. I mean, I thought it was the best application that we received. That's why I was just a little concerned when I saw the variety of scores.
I don't remember seeing that.
3D, but I do remember seeing the other stuff.
And if you scroll through that document, there's more. There is much more. That's 14 pages of explanation on what he was proposing.
Is he, can you remind us more about this artist? I don't, they all are learned together. I do think, I'm sure y'all are already thinking this, but I'll bring it up, that we need to be sensitive about, I mean, we really need to choose wisely with this one because of the history of that plaza and what this piece of art is replacing, and,
Thank you.
yeah.
I agree with that, 100%, and, you know, I don't presuppose to be the right applicant to address, this site. Although I would have loved to submit just as detailed of a proposal as this person if the website had allowed it. But I don't know if this is maybe an opportunity to do what you did with the last one and rebid. But, I don't know if other artists.
I had a problem with
if
the,
you-
I had a problem with the work, you know, I had a problem. So, as a
Okay.
person of color, I had a problem. And I think what should go there should be something that's not, that represent a diverse community, and to me, that doesn't represent that. You know what I mean? It's still being something that is, here it is, point. Okay, who's this lady? What does this lady represent? You know, does she look like me? Does she represent me? Is she representing my neighbor? You know, it's, you know, I'm sure she's not representing my neighbor, but, you know, my neighbor's a tattoo lady. So, but I'm just saying, I saw it too personal. You see what I'm saying? It is too, it's not representing diversity. And that's why my.
So the winner of the contest that was then used as, that was kind of the theme that we put out to artists, was the woman who did the giant megaphone. And there were 3 or 4 applications that felt like they were listening to that theme. And a lot of the applications, there was no relation whatsoever with that theme. But, you know, I mean, it was my understanding that that theme was important. We did a contest, we came up with that. That was, I think that, Gina, didn't the board actually approve that?
Yes, they did.
So the board actually approved that. So this one, the giant megaphone on with the wheels on it, where you can actually talk into it. And then the one that's the kind that Duende proposed was kind of that same kind of shape, but it was actually a space where a poet or a musician could be inside. And so, you know, those, I scored those high because they stuck with the theme. I really enjoyed Terrence Ho's application But frankly, that seemed like more of an application that would be suitable for maybe City Hall, because Alachua County doesn't really participate in the Sister City program. And, you know, and I had some worries about the technology there and the you know, what would be needed to put that up and maintain it. And it just seemed so completely city-centric to me that it seemed like it would be a better project to maybe propose to the GCRA. And since it is completely city-centric because it integrally involves the city of Gainesville's sister cities, that's, I mean, I still scored it high, but that didn't seem like one that I thought the county commission would support. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm still not quite clear if some people scored Stephen Fairfield without seeing that other information.
I would like to make a change.
Yes, ma'am.
My score from 28 to 73.
28 to 73.
I'd like to know if we could rebid this one. I will say, like, I disagree. I think that a lot of the art proposals that we received did build off the theme. We were pretty clear that that theme was abstract. It didn't have to be. There didn't have to be a megaphone anywhere in the art, right? I feel like we were pretty clear about that. Like, it was just it was the idea of a megaphone, of government hearing the people. And so I agree with that. I feel like a lot of them touched on that, including the one by Ho. I hadn't thought of what you said about the sister city thing being Gainesville-centric, but I heard as we were going around, everyone rated Ho very highly. And to me, Ho was the only one that I saw that paid proper sentiment to the history of that space. Ho, if you'll remember, was the one, sister cities, bringing people from around the world. Ho himself, I think, is an artist of color. And I don't know, to me that was the only one that and of course some of them are incomplete, right? So there's that too, so it's another reason to rebid. But that was the one that I saw that really genuinely seemed to recognize the past of that space. And I don't want to make enemies out of artists in town because we did this process botched, and I don't want to make enemies out of our county because we picked something that's not appropriate to the history of this space there. I want to recognize what happened in that space. So that's my 2 cents.
I would rather not rebid. I mean, ultimately, this is the county commission's choice, so they're gonna see all of these. They're gonna see this recommendation, and they're gonna choose. I don't think anything has been done wrong here. It's just Stephen Fairfield stuck out as the one where I was just surprised I couldn't find anything, and then I did. I don't recall that being the case in any of the other grants that I scored. So I mean, I don't see any good reason to rebid. I mean, and if Terrence Ho is the #1 choice based on scores, then so be it. The county can decide whether or not that's an appropriate piece of art for that corner.
I think we were looking for something interactive, and there were just a few artworks that were really interactive into the space because it's located right downtown and where the tourists are passing there, and everybody will see it and want to do something in there. And if we just put another horse, it's not going to be interactive.
Another horse, did you say?
Yes, yeah, another horse. Just an example of an ordinary submission. There were many applications that were submitted to several calls, all the same, without even changing the topic because the artists are just sending it just in case it goes through.
Yeah. So the interactive ones were more, so certainly Terrence Ho's was interactive. Certainly the very long megaphone on the bicycle was interactive and functional. The Duende one was certainly interactive. I mean, it was a kind of that shape, but it was large enough to actually have performances inside. But anyway,
I just want to mention something about Duende, who is also a Lushaman. These guys have experience of building a sculpture for Burning Man, which I think is really good experience. And if you look at their resumes, I tried to look also what kind of project they participate, if their artworks were included in the museum or something that would indicate more better projects than others, because you see those resumes that have hundreds or thousands of the artworks, but we don't really know how important they are. I mean, maybe he just painted something on the fence and he considers to be a public art project. So I just wanted to mention that these guys, they're not only local, they're pretty much creative, they're thoughtful about the space, and they also have experience participating in the major events.
Yeah, their other work was really tremendous. The
Yes.
examples that they gave in the application, I agree. With the local points, I think they became my number 2. And can you put all the scores back up, Lyra?
I thought they were.
Before we put the scores up, did anybody want to revisit their score for Stephen Fairfield?
I do, but I don't know, I'm just really conflicted, like, that is a beautiful piece, but I agree with what you're saying, like, a white woman yelling at the building is not maybe appropriate. I also really liked, I don't remember which artist was, but it was a little girl with a megaphone. I thought that was awesome, but it was a little white girl, and I just felt like that was not appropriate, really, because we're replacing a Confederate statue. It just felt inappropriate.
We thought originally of not placing any historical figure.
Right.
Or individual.
Yes.
I don't think you can identify. I don't think you can identify.
Simple, like an object or a bench, you know.
I don't think you can identify Stephen Fairfield's sculpture as a white woman. I just looked at it again, and the race is completely
Her hair don't look like
identified.
Her hair doesn't look like mine.
Well, I'm just saying that I don't think she, as I view it, I don't see her as necessarily a white woman.
Okay.
So
can you go ahead and give us our scores later?
Yeah, who were the top?
Wait. I'm still working.
I think I just want to a little bit adjust one score. Can I?
Yes.
So Duende is actually a duo with Ilushaman, but they applied at one application as local artists and here as not, but they are local. And I would just want to add 5 more points, and that would be 99.
Which one is that?
Duende builds.
Oh, so they were marked not as local and they are local?
Yes.
So that pops my score up for that.
Wait, because I have 90.
Yeah, because they applied like from different names, you know, but they are together, and
yes,
yes, it's not reflective on
your scores. Oh no, because the conversation from earlier, I already updated those. So yes, I already have it up to 99.
Ah, okay, sorry.
No.
Sorry then.
You're fine. I'm like, oh wait a second.
Good. I'm just making sure it's correct.
I'm like, oh wait a second.
I have a couple of changes also.
Okay. Which one?
I'm convinced that I want to take Stephen Fairfield down to a 90.
Okay.
And I want to take Duende up to 98.
All right. Let me do this all over again just to be extra sure that I don't mess up.
And does anyone else feel like we should fight to rebid this one?
May I ask a question, just for my understanding, and maybe this will help clarify this issue for you all. Were there other applicants that just submitted sort of a qualification document and not proposals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I understand that I didn't
More
mess
than-
up.
No.
There's something.
No.
That's what I was saying earlier.
With a lot of people.
Submitted something that is out of place as well, so.
But I would say, like, for that first one, I'm I'm not gonna, I wish we would rebid that one too, the very first one we did today. I wish we rebid that one too, but I'm not gonna cry about it, because they're all fantastic artists. They're gonna, any one of them would do an excellent job making the equestrian center piece of art, right? But this piece of art, it's important, it's more important, it's not more, it's different than the others. I think it's
Yes,
worth
the
rebidding
location
and getting it right.
very important.
I will
Hey.
actually tell you, yes, I would say that it's more important than the others. Definitely, it has a lot of weight, especially me coming in new from Puerto Rico, it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Lyra, just speaking to Evan, there were 3 applications from my point of view that did what you're talking about. And if it makes you feel any better, you scored the highest of the people who didn't submit a concept on my score sheet.
So,
I'm working on it, I'm working
so
on
would
it.
someone like to make a motion to rebid?
I motion we rebid.
Is there someone that'd like to second that motion?
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that motion to rebid? CTA
Um,
219.
Is this discussion available for scores or just board members?
So as an evaluator, you actually do get a vote on this, Mark.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see, the other one had obvious issues. You were looking for 3 murals and 3 sculptures, and the process wasn't providing that in a graceful way. There has been healthy debate about the art in this one, but I don't see anything that's, the majority of artists filled out the applications correctly. There were 3 that chose not to take advantage of the supplemental information that Lyra said she put out, that notice that you could submit supplemental information if you couldn't upload everything on the website. So I don't see anything worthy of a rebid on this one.
Actually, you said that you didn't for this one, right? Yeah.
Exactly, no, this was the only one that, I did not receive a question for it, so I can post an addendum for it, for the supplemental information.
So to me, that seems like reason enough. That has nothing to do with how we feel about the history of the space. It's just that it was an error, and if we want to give all artists equal opportunity to apply fairly to this, I think we should rebid it.
What is the error again? I'm not clear on the error.
She's referring to the supplemental information that you just mentioned. There was not a question regarding supplemental information on this call to artists, so there was not an addendum that could clarify it. That's what she referred to.
So there are some applications on the website that are absolutely complete. So they were able to upload everything they needed to upload on the website.
I wonder if
Even
those are the ones that applied to all 3.
Some of them, yes.
And Stephen Fairfield was not able to do that, so he got in touch with you, Lyra, is that correct? And you told him he could send supplemental information?
Well, actually, I can't tell you who did what because I really don't keep track of who sends me the information via email. I just put it on in the submittal folder of the RFP.
I would say no, because Lyra would have asked questions and we would have sent out an addendum.
So how did he know? So he just did that on his own volition, kind of?
Yeah.
That they read what they would be evaluated on, and then they took the initiative to submit what points, things they were getting scored on.
Was there anything about the website that would have kept him from uploading this information onto the CODA system?
If I understand correctly, yes, the Code of Work system only allowed resume,
And
like
letter of
RFP,
interest.
and one other thing, I don't remember what it was.
The letter of interest, their resume, and a portfolio.
And a lot of people put their
They use the letter of intent for the proposal. They just include it in there.
Exactly.
You can basically merge documents and apply through one.
A PDF, are they?
So yes, Stephen Fairfield was one of those that emailed me the videos and all of his supplemental information.
Clear in the call, was there an opportunity that it said if you have something to email, like, how did he know about Lyra? How did he know to email stuff to you?
Let me,
Because there is a contact information, I think.
yes,
Yes.
my contact information is on there. Let me share this screen for record purposes.
And was it past the deadline, you know?
No, he wasn't past the deadline. So this is the addendum extending the date and the 3 questions that I received. And then this is the CTA, the background, the budget, application, proposal requirements, inquiries over here. So, and the only thing I received from him was that's 974 and this is 977. I didn't receive a question from him.
But didn't we agree that we was gonna have individuals, a person in that spot? An individual in that spot?
So the Board of County Commissioners originally had voted they didn't want to honor a specific person or a historical event or anything like that. They just wanted something art for the sake of art, something that's beautiful and creative. Then we did it again, and then it was 2 trees that were the top ranked evaluations, and the board said, hold up, let's reject all
Hold
this.
up, wait
Do
a
this
minute.
again. And whenever we did that, they said, let's put a call out to the community for ideas.
Right.
So we had a lady who had submitted the megaphone idea, and then that was the inspiration for what we sent out.
Yeah. And I didn't vote great on that,
What?
the microphone.
Oh, the megaphone.
Yeah,
because
my
I came
score
back
was
to
low.
this group.
My score was low on that too.
All right, so we have a motion on the
Yeah.
floor. Yes, Evan, you
Oh,
want
but
to
it
speak?
did say in the final call that that was still in there about it not representing a person or a historical event.
Something abstract.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to, send this out for rebid. We have a second. We've had some discussion, so would you like to go ahead and vote on that motion? All in favor, are we done?
Are we able to hear the rankings before we vote?
Yes, I'm trying to get it to sort.
See who,
See what.
All right. Heaven's gracious, I swear.
so if we do repeat, it would be the 4th time?
For this one,
Yeah, so the first time we didn't get any bids whatsoever, and then I thought, well, maybe because the budget is not high enough, so we went from 25 to 40,000. Then whenever we did that, we took to the Board of County Commissioners, the top 2, both were trees.
Yeah.
They said, let's reject all this. This is our 3rd go-round
Okay,
with what you're looking at right now.
okay.
So if we do it again, that would be our 4th time.
so your
That's
first,
okay, we keep doing it until we get it right.
Yeah, I think it's worth getting it right.
so your first 2 are Brenda Bills and Terrence Ho.
That's not bad.
What's the third?
Your 3rd, Jim Galucci. Brenda Bills has 98, Terrence Ho has 90, and then Jim Galucci has 75.
That's a big gap.
And you only have,
And Jim, there was something more like a statue of something, right? So, but these 2 are more interactive anyway, so I wouldn't want to rebate this one.
yeah, 2 alternatives to the recommendation.
And they're good to me.
But we do have a motion on the, unless the maker of the
Okay.
motion withdraws, you guys do have to vote.
So let's, on the motion on the floor to send this out for rebid on CTA 21977. All in favor, signify by saying yay.
Yeah.
All opposed?
No.
Okay. So the motion dies, because Arena, you said no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're gonna put a person
So
out
the
there with a
so the motion's gonna
microphone?
die.
No, it's not that one. It isn't that one. And actually, these were my top 2 favorites.
Can I share my screen for a second?
Sure, there you go.
Okay.
It's
This is Jim Galucci's piece.
Okay.
And then the Bills one was, it was more abstract. It was the guys who do stagecraft.
Oh, there we go. He shared the screen.
Can you show?
Yeah, all right.
And I can show you,
So,
Built, I'd like, yes,
Terrence,
I gave him 100.
Yeah, so, but if you look at his other examples that are images more close up, you will see what kind of material it is. And so this work, the first one is pretty, but if you look at the others that are more to the proposal, it's not that pretty. Yeah.
And
so,
then plus we gotta look at the safety of it,
Safety.
because you got.
Is that Jim?
Jim?
yeah,
Yeah, that's Jim.
no,
This
that's
is
Don
Don
Bills, I think.
Joanne Bill.
Yeah,
this is
Yeah.
Duende. Here is
This is what I
the,
Safety of things, you know,
Oh, right, yeah.
cause I have a kid that, you know, just making sure.
Well, the safety here, for every artwork, it has to be safe, you know?
Well, it's just like, at the artwork that's on the building over there at the park, what is called, Depot Park, you know, the artwork that's on the wall?
The faces?
Yeah.
Or-
No, there are metal pieces, abstract looking pieces. My son got cut. He was running and he couldn't make that wide turn, and the side of it just, because how the edge of the painting is sticking out, and it was metal. Okay.
hey, Carol,
So I look at artwork where kids and the public's gonna be at, so, because you also don't want people to get hurt and sue.
Sure.
Okay, yes, Mark?
I was just, you know, obviously I think this is a losing effort, but I don't know, for some reason, the idea of a citizen with a huge megaphone shouting at us in the county commission building appeals to me. What if we worked with the artist and, or this isn't just for Carol, for anyone. What if we worked with the artist and said, we want to make sure that this person, they could be non-gender, non-race, or we could suggest that it appear to be an African-American person, for that matter. I like
about no person.
We talked about not having an individual person.
And so people could stand behind instead. It would be then interactive if we just have the megaphone without any human in there.
Yeah, okay. And then there was that one megaphone that actually did what you're talking about. I'm forgetting, I think that was Donald Gianelli, or
Gianella?
let me see if I can find him. So if I may share again, so he had some pretty impressive sculptures that he shared. And his resume was way out there. I mean, he's obviously accomplished. And I think this might be another one where you have to go to the
share file.
The shared files to see. Let me see. Okay, can you all see this? Are you seeing that megaphone on your screen?
Oh, we're seeing the statement of interest.
Are you seeing the actual picture of the megaphone right now? Okay, hold on. Did you all see this one?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry, Sophia, I keep putting this way.
I mean, if we're talking about the original concept, if we're talking about wanting it to be interactive, if we're talking about wanting to magnify the voice of the citizens to their governments, I would change the word Gainesville to Alachua County, but other than that, I was somewhat intrigued by this one as well, just as it's just fun, a fun, interactive, sturdy sculpture. Anyway.
All right, Alira, I'll adjust my score for,
All right,
Donald to 82.
82. Anyone else? All right. Do we have a motion on the floor?
We do, or no,
No, we don't.
it does.
Cause you got,
Oh, it
got
does.
all the scores, so now can you give us the top three again?
All right, let me redo your score completely because. Alright. Your first two are still Brenda Bills and Terrence Hill.
Anybody want to
And the
make a
third
motion?
one,
Okay.
What?
the third,
The third is still Jim Galucci at 75. Can I hear a motion on,
Yeah, if we can have a motion to accept Dwayne Day Bill and Terrence Ho, and the third one,
you only need two for this one.
only need two for consideration for the West Lawn, a motion to accept.
before I make the motion, I would just say I voted no on the last motion because I feel more comfortable if it is to be rebid or re-advertised, that decision come directly from the county commissioners, since we've gone through this a couple of times.
Yeah.
If they don't like the top two that we recommend, or any of the others for that matter, that they may choose from. So that's why I voted, no on the last motion, but I moved to, send these two, recommendations to the county commission.
Second.
All in favor? Aye by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Lyra, I do have a question. So with the extension office,
Okay.
this council made a recommendation to reject them. Does that need to go to the Board of County Commissioners? Does this council have the authority to reject them? Or they make the recommendation of the Board of County Commissioners to reject them? Do you understand my question?
Yes, I do. I did not think about that.
I kind of think it needs to go to the Board of County Commissioners, and then the board says, we agree, it needs to be redone. So just heads up, guys. I think I need to go to the board, because they're the only ones that can reject.
They really want to award it.
Yeah. Okay, so just in case you wonder what I'm doing, that's why I'm doing that.
That's
All right, Liz,
7-5 we just did?
Yeah.
All right, so countywide cultural affairs update, Mr. Elliot Harris with the city of Alachua. He's been patiently waiting since 5:30. So, is he still there?
He's here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Mr. Harris, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Jen, did you do this or you?
So, thank you guys for having me. In the process, I got lost and my phone died. So, it was good that you guys ran long. But I'm home now. I got my headphones on, but so I just wanted to give you I guess a brief overview of what we're doing out here in the city of Alachua. One of our strategic initiatives is to create more cultural opportunities with the expansion of Legacy Park. We expanded in 2019. We expanded and built the outdoor amphitheater. In 2019, unfortunately, we only had one event out there, and then the bottom fell out, and COVID shut down the world. So back in 2019, we had the Nutcracker with Dance Alive National Ballet in December. And then we weren't able to have anything out there until recently. Um, uh, Things that we're trying to do out here is we're trying to have some outdoor events. As I said previously, Nutcracker with the Dance Alive National Ballet is one of those things that we want to do every year in December, because it becomes not just a performance, but it becomes um, heritage or things for the entire family to do year after year. Um, we also have had multiple outdoor performances. We've had several concerts. We've had a rock concert back in October, and it was um, a cover band. We had a cover band that played Journey songs out there, and that was well attended. We had 500 to 600 people out there, and so that was well attended. We've also had, or we're starting a concert series that we started last month. We'll continue that series May and June, and we're trying to do different genres of music to get different types of people out, so we can kind of get the whole community out and not just selected few. So in May, on May the 1st, we are doing a country concert, country music concert. And then in June, we'll do a soul slash funk concert, June the 5th. And so those concerts will be from 5 o'clock in the evening till 9 o'clock at night. And we're hoping for a good turnout there. We have also partnered with community theater to provide some indoor productions at Legacy Park, the multi-purpose center. We partnered with Star Center Theater, and they've done a couple productions for us. They did Dreamgirls in 2020. I think it was 2000, it might have been 2019. But then they also did The Wiz for us this past January. And so we want to keep building on those things, looking for other community partners to come in and provide those opportunities for our citizens. A couple other things that we're doing right now. We have started a Zumba class, and that's something that we offer for free to our citizens every Tuesday. And we're also looking to add some visual art classes coming up here. We were down last year with COVID from March through, I think we opened back up mid-June. And so that's kind of halted a lot of things that we wanted to do and start. But with hopefully things are looking to change. We're gonna go forward and add some more cultural aspects to our programming. I think that's a brief overview. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I did want to make a note that the city of Alachua was one of the agencies that was awarded the grant, the major grant to cities. And so they had plans prior to COVID is to do an art walk, a visual art walk on Main Street. And do you know if they're still planning on doing that, Mr. Harris?
So that we kind of debated that internally as far as the city, which department would lead that. And that ended up going to our CRA division. That is in the plans to do. I know the person that's in charge of that was out with She had a maternity leave not too long ago, so I know she was out, but I know that's something that we plan to do with the plein air art, and so I think that's in the making.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any comments?
Thank you, it's great to hear what you're doing.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody? No? All right, well, thank you, and we appreciate it, and we'll see you on Facebook.
All right. All right, y'all have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so item number 6, our town letter of support review approval. Gina?
Yeah, so in your packet, I had drafted a letter for the council. However, I do understand that, Mr. Gabbard is here and he has some, suggestions. And I don't know if you provided a revised draft or how exactly we want to proceed, but this is not the letter that Mr. Gabbard would like for you to approve. And so if I'm misrepresenting anything, stop me.
No, yeah, the email that I sent to Gina and Carol, was that distributed or?
Yes.
Yes, it was. So there was an email I sent out that kind of said, hey, I don't know if this is the right direction we should head in. So did you guys get that? Do you want me to I can go over that again if you would like me to. But basically, the email is saying, you know, I think we need to maybe head in the right direction. The email was talking about how I don't think that this letter is going to make us competitive for the NEA. And the letter was also saying, you know, that that Why Not Theater is not, because Why Not Theater is planning on applying for the Visit Gainesville in another route. This letter is kind of null and void because we're not planning on using going that route with this program. So so the thing about the Visit Gainesville thing is also not really kind of applicable. So it just doesn't, you know, I'm not sure that this letter really achieves the goal that we need. And then, you know, in the end of the email, you know, I said something about how I'm not sure, you know, what the next step is should the next, and I'm asking, I know that you guys can't provide us with funding. I kind of get that, but I'm kind of looking for suggestions about kind of, you know, what you think the next step should be. Should the next step be me to schedule a meeting with you know, the county commissioners? Should the next step us schedule a meeting with the county commissioners? Should the next step be? And so I'm kind of looking for suggestions about what you think should be our next step.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Okay, first of all, what you said your project is about, you know, the Black, Indigenous, people of color, is your board of directors is made up of these diversity?
We have a diverse board of directors, yes. We have members that are African American, we have members that are mixed race, and we also have a member that is Asian American.
Okay,
yes.
So are they the ones that's kind of pushing you to come up with this project for the National Endowment?
They're supportive of the project. They're not pushing. I, as the artistic director, make the artistic decisions and brought this to our board of directors. But they're supportive of this project, absolutely. And one of our board members is helping collaborating, helping create this proposal. Yes, absolutely.
Because how I looked at it and went back in my head the conversation that you had with us before, and I really feel like, you know, no offense to you, but I really feel like you're throwing together a project to exploit, you know? Like, for example, some people feel like right now, since African Americans and social justice and blah, blah, blah is a problem, going on is that a lot of people are using, that to feel like they can guarantee funding. So I'm saying, like, why are you rushing so quickly to throw together something that, you're putting together, people of color on there to either guarantee yourself or you're exploiting, really what is the substance of this project?
What is the substance of the project?
Yes.
The substance of the project is cultural placemaking. The substance of the project is supporting our community, Alachua County, by providing artists and also providing the community with additional support. That's the substance of the
Okay.
project.
But I found the money that she was offering for artists is very, very low.
Okay? Okay? The money that we're offering artists is a living wage.
But I'm an artist, and I don't make no living wage.
Right?
You get me?
You're an artist and you don't make a living wage.
Correct. Okay, let me break it. In 1984, I did a mural, about from here to here, okay? $10,000. When I came to Alachua County in 2003, as an artist, my wages, like my income was 80,000 plus. You get me now?
Okay.
What artists make minimum wage? That's a real artist. Now, my son is 8. He will enjoy minimum wage. You understand where I'm coming from? The money that you're offering is too small for a real artist. So are you offering the artists amateurs? Are there beginners? Are they just starting out on a career? They might accept that. But I think the artists that you're trying to put in there to make your program really, really work, really blossom, really go, they're not going to, that's a little bit too much, too little money.
Okay. Well, I mean, the program we have not applied for this yet. So we're not at a place where any of this is set.
Okay.
So the idea that the funding is too low can very quickly be changed. Like, okay, the funding's too low. Cool. We can change that in the budget. Absolutely. No problem.
Now,
So all of those accommodations and all of that input is valuable.
Okay.
And we can make alterations. That's why we're starting this project so early.
Okay.
So, absolutely.
Have you researched to see if anyone else have done a project similar to yours and their success rate on it?
Absolutely. This project is a model
Okay.
based on an organization called C4.
Okay.
C4 is based in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've had several Zoom meetings with the executive director. His name is Jessica Holland. And me and Jessica have talked about this. She has sent us documentation about how the program worked. And I was also at the event where the artists displayed their work in Atlanta and showed how the artists and community interact. So it's based on a model that has had success in Atlanta, Georgia.
So you're also planning to do fundraisers?
Are we planning to do fundraisers?
I mean, because if you do your budget, right? You got your grant money. Okay, you got your in-kind service.
And we need a match.
So in that match, are somewhere you got to be able to get fundraise the corporation, foundations, or somebody to be able to match your grant and your in-kind service.
So some of that match hopefully will come from either the county or some association from the county. Some of that match could come from private donors, and some of that match could come from individual donors. But I don't know that right at the current time.
Can I ask a question, Gina? Just piggybacking off of what Paul just said, some would come from the county. this grant requires, regardless of whether it's a good proposal or not, Paul knows how I feel about it, it still means the county is signing on as a partner and obligating itself financially to this project, whether it's a financial dollars or it's a financial in kind. I do not believe the Arts Council can speak for the Board of County Commissioners. We do not have the funding in our Arts Council budget to form a partnership. So that is up to the Board of County Commissioners. And if the Board of County Commissioners do it, then where would they get the money from? Because much of the, like, when we're giving out this, like, for the, sculptures and stuff, that's based on the resolution that already says that 1% of that new construction or renovation is earmarked to the county. It's not like they have a general fund that they put aside just for the arts, other than what you get through Visit Gainesville and the Arts Tag. So if he were to just go to the Board of County Commissioners as a private citizen, I got this really great project, I would like for the county to be the partner. That's up to the Board of County Commissioners. And then if they agree to it, where would they get the money?
So, answer kind of,
couple
several questions there. So Mr. Gabbard could absolutely meet with all 5 of the county commissioners individually, pitch his idea. And what they could do is during a board meeting, say, hey, I've been approached by a citizen, this is what they're asking, what do you guys think? It would be funded through the general fund. So just general ask, that's how that would happen. Mr. Gabbard put under, public comment at our next meeting, which would be April 13th. It starts at 12 noon, the public comment portion. You would have 3 minutes to pitch your idea. So the one, you would be individually with all 5 of them separately. The other, I'm saying you could come to the next county commission meeting at noon during public comment. You could just pitch it to all 5 of them. If they like the idea, they would say, Madam Manager, we think this is a great idea, find money in the budget. Again, general fund. If this group had anything to do with it, it would be during our art tag grant application, but I don't believe that lines up with his timing. So our next pot of money becomes available October 1st, and I don't believe that meshes with your deadline.
So what I'm sensing, Mr. Gabbard, you can elaborate, but I'm sensing that you're wanting us to say, hey, we really like this idea, Board of County Commissioners, partner with them.
Well, let me present this hypothetical, and tell me if this is even possible. If this is possible, let's say I contact the county commission and say, hey, I'd like to come in and have a meeting with you. And then I go, hey, David, you really like this. Can you come to the meeting with me and be there with me and support this with me and be on my side and say, hey, the Arts Tag really likes this, we're digging this idea. Is that conceivable?
As a private citizen.
One Arts Council member. So, for example, you can't have David and Carol,
Right.
because then it has to be a noticed meeting. But yes, you could take one Arts Council member with you.
Okay. That's,
Wouldn't it be better if you have, reference letters from the council, reference letters?
So,
See, to me, reference letter would play a big part in it, because if you put your proposal together, say you do a real nice proposal presentation, and you have those references in there, that would be a bit more powerful than just, talking.
right.
Sometimes people like to see things, but,
I agree.
I mean, why will a person really have to show up if he has the reference letters?
So
The other thing is that we have a new equity
like
manager.
approve a letter, and maybe even, for example, that we would throw out the second paragraph.
Okay.
Because I don't know that anything else, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I don't think you have an issue with anything else in the second paragraph that you kind of don't like.
Now, basically, it would be nice if it said to county commission, but, we can tweak it or something like that, if assuming that that's something that the group decides on. But yeah, that kind of idea of saying, hey, county commissioners, here's a letter from the Arts Council saying that they support this idea. And then also getting another letter from, the Chamber of Commerce that says they support this idea. And then getting another letter from this person. I agree, having letters and hand to them would be very beneficial. So, absolutely. That's one, I came, and I think part of the reason we were having miscommunication was just the technology issues from our last meeting, so the issue, but that's one reason why I came to you guys first, was not to say, give me money, but to say, hey, if I go to the county commission, I want to know that this organization kind of has my back. That was kind of the idea.
Well, I definitely want to go on the record and say I have your back, but I don't have your back in the sense of obligating the county with money. Because that's not our place to do. Because we just can't speak for them to whether they can take money out of general fund or not. But the other thing is, we do have a new Acac County Equity Manager, Deetra Helshin, and if you're concerned about this particular topic, she, by all means, needs to be contacted like yesterday. And this is what she does. She's also the curator for the Lincoln, the Aquin Jones Lincoln exhibit at the Aquin Jones Center.
Okay.
She's on
Work
board.
isn't Desmond?
Yeah,
Works with
the
Desmond?
Deetra was like the mastermind behind all of it.
Okay.
And she also worked on the Trails Project, and she was the assistant director, I believe, for U.S. Law School Center for the Study of Race and Race Relations.
Cool.
And the county has her now. And I
Tell me
think
your name again?
Deetra Helshin. And I think because of the subject matter, I think you should contact her.
Actually, I think I talked to her. Okay, thank you.
Out to review.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay. All right, these are all good suggestions, I appreciate it. Does anyone else have any questions? Let me just say this, in terms of updates, I have met with the Chamber of Commerce, and they're very, very interested and very excited. They're just, their feedback is, when the application comes available, let's re-meet. So they're very interested. And also, I have also had a conversation with Jessica at Visit Gainesville, who was also very interested in her responses when the application comes through.
And again, explain to me why you can't submit this as a regular 501c3. Why did you have to have the county, a government entity, partner with you?
That's part of the NEAR town requirements. And that's the first NEAR, that's the big one. The NEA says that for this grant, this is one of the guidelines. One of the guidelines is that it has to be
So wouldn't
a
you
partnership.
think that this would be, it's like if the county came on board, then this subject would have to be something that we as the county want to support. This is like when you have the Smithsonian comes to your town, then it becomes the whole city gets behind this. But this would have to be something that the entire county has to get behind.
Yeah, if it's a partnership, you have to be involved at some point,
Be
right?
involved in it. It's going through an NEA versus not just partnering and then you go off. I think the county needs, if the county's gonna be involved, then I think the county needs to be involved. Is there a place, Gina, where this could fall up under Truth Reconciliation Program?
It possibly could. And so Deidre actually is taking the lead on that.
Yeah, so maybe you could talk to her and see if this could be tied in with that, because that's
But
something
it
they're
still would
already
be good if he had a whole proposal.
Yeah.
You know,
I
if he had a
when I talk to these
a
other
good
people in these other
proposal, I haven't seen a
departments,
proposal.
I
So
imagine,
a
I don't know for
presentation,
a fact, but I
but
imagine
it's like
their
a
first
little
question is,
parts of
have you talked to the
information.
arts people?
Right, well, you have.
And so I want to be able to say, yes, I talked to the Arts Council, and they're supportive. So I want to be able to tell them,
Okay.
when I talk to
Chelsea,
Deidre, when I talk to
what do you
anyone else.
In my experience with Paul, he does good work. I don't think I was here when you shared the proposal. I'm still new to this board. I don't know if it's before I joined or if it's, if I was
just
absent.
gave us a little
It was last
background
month.
of what the grant is. We haven't seen a proposal.
I wasn't present last week.
Right, there was no proposal.
There is no proposal.
Oh, okay. Well, I've only heard what I've heard today, and I only know what I know about, seeing Paul's work in the past, and that it has been, good work in the past, and he's a good collaborator. He, I think has good priorities, and that's all I can say to it really, because I don't know more about the project.
Okay, now I did have one question for you. You brought up about how much you're paying the artists, but I thought what I read was this is just this grant would fund one position.
Well, it can fund more than one. I mean,
Okay, but what you showed us was really funding one person.
well, what the PowerPoint that I showed said that my budget right now is $50,000 for one artist. So
At minimum wages.
I would love to fund more than one artist.
At minimum wages, and see.
It's a residency, so yeah,
And
It was a residency.
it's spread out in time. And also, yeah, I would be wondering how the artist would be selected. I think we should involve more African American or people of color in actually in being part of this, just citizens, be part of either selection or the feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, because
still,
if
still
we
you
are
gotta show
creating
them.
it for the people, right? If the idea is that we bring artists for the local community and we want them to be of a color, then we should ask if the community needs it, and if they need what particular they want to see, what kind of artist, whether it's theater or it's a mural or it's a music or because I remember from the proposal it wasn't clear what kind of art it is.
Well, it's somebody that would work with businesses. I think the artist could be any color.
What kind of
The
business?
minority businesses is what he
So
was.
the business also supposed to benefit at the cost of whoever pays for it, right? Not the business. So how do we select this business?
Well, yeah, I mean, that has not been decided yet, but
But
absolutely, that is.
I would start from that because it's important who we are trying to benefit, and then we will find out who is going to sponsor it.
I would think that he should create a good strategic plan, a proposal with a strategic plan, with a budget, you know, so this way, even if he goes and do a presentation.
Yeah, at least
He
just
can-
1-page resume, like summary, what
Right.
the budget needed, how it's going to
Another
be decided.
strategic plan,
Because
how
it's
you
easier
gonna,
even for us
you know,
to
I can
understand,
send it to
right?
you tomorrow if you'd like.
No,
Already
it's not for me, you don't want me to see it.
It's already done.
Yeah, and then what's
It's
the
already
issue?
done.
Okay, send it to me, and I'll
Proposal is done.
Gina, is it all right for you to send it to me? Send it to
Or
you
I
and to
can
me?
send it to, I mean, I can
Send
send
it
it
to
to
Gina,
Yeah.
and Gina will send it.
the proposal, the overview of the proposal.
And it is okay if I give him my advice on it?
So the thing that I would just hesitate to you is that if you are getting, input from more than one arts council member, that you're not sharing, you know, it's like, oh, well, Carol told me this.
I'll just send it to Gina, and Gina.
Just send it to Gina.
Yeah, and so it could be
I don't
one-way
wanna see it
communication, you
versus
just get your
Right.
input and you just
That way.
store it up here in the vault.
Right, and so when he send it, you send it to me, I make my what in my butt, and I send it back to you.
That's fine, and then I'll send
Okay.
it back to you, and then it's just one way, it's like, don't volley back and forth.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I can just see the red pen from here.
Yes, it's Post-it notes. Okay. All right, Paul, we'll get there. So give Deetra a call,
I will.
Deetra House and a call,
Thank
that'd
you.
be great.
Thank you.
All righty,
And should you want me to do a revised one of these letters? Should I do that?
If you'd like to, you're more than
Why
welcome to.
why don't he wait and send the thing to you, and so he can send to me, and then I do da-da-da.
And I can
and blah,
send it
blah,
all to, even to Deidre as well,
Yes.
so she can see your
Well, that's
proposal.
it.
And I feel confident if Deetra Howson signs off on it, as the equity manager, then I feel comfortable signing off on it.
Okay. Now, keep in mind that what we're doing is we're creating a proposal before the guidelines are even out. So the NEA has not released the guidelines yet. So,
But I have received some things from the National Endowment for the Arts. They did put out some grants and
yeah,
stuff.
so when the NEA releases these guidelines,
Mhm.
the proposal could very easily change. But it is, I mean, I'm trying
And
to.
keep in mind, even if the Arts Council says we like it, that doesn't mean the Board of County Commissioners are gonna say, we're gonna give you money out of general fund, because they have to look at not just that project, but every other person that might come along with a private project.
And trust me, I'm doing this for you for free. I usually get paid.
That's why you're on Arts Council. Resource to local arts leaders.
I usually
We're
get
gonna have a
paid.
little info commercial. Now, PSA, alrighty. Next is the Mellon Foundation.
Yeah, next from me, the update. So I did apply to the Mellon Foundation. It's called Monument Project, and as we discussed, that could be a proposal call for stories from the community, and then going from there, we will create something. Because I wanted this proposal to be broad, I put it together as a performing arts and visual arts, so it can be a combination of something temporary and permanent. And if we get selected or recommended for funding, then we can discuss it in details. But for now, they only replied that it will take them several months to get back, so no news at the moment.
We got
Yeah.
something out there, that's great.
And the next one, I
And the
guess,
next one is
for
the
me.
website, anybody, any questions on that? Are you familiar with the Maryland, what you're talking about?
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
Okay,
The good thing about this Mellon Foundation is that they don't ask for a particular proposal. They only ask for something broad, and once they accept it, yeah.
okay. Next item, website, site platform.
Yes, so today we had a good experience evaluating ArcGIS through CodaWorks, and what I'm currently working is I'm actually discovering all this issue, and you probably won't be surprised, but you are not the only one, like we are not the only one who experienced this issue and who feel that ArcGIS sometimes go down in ratings because of not fair, and the talented artists may be not selected, and all this because of technological issues. So I'm currently trying to work on a platform that would simplify way for artists, first of all, because what we need more applications from talented artists, clear and concise to the project. And if we think of artists as users of this platform, now it's very complex. You just saw Evan, who said he didn't know, he didn't have the box to apply this, he didn't know that. So I wanted to ask you for support, and I have the letter from the executive director of the Keys Arts Council, and she is also the president of Florida Association of Public Art Professionals, who we talked with and shared all this experience, and she supports me in this matter on behalf of the association. And I wanted to ask you for this support. It's not a financial or in-kind support, it's support of the interest in having this kind of platform that will make you easy to evaluate ArcGIS proposal and easy for ArcGIS to submit their proposal. The letter that would support the need and potential use, and I may use it as I currently participate in a business plan competition from University of Florida with this platform, and I may win, may not, then it's one of the chances, but if not, I still can apply to some kind of grants, to either endowments of the arts or a Department of State grant with the same platform. So at the moment, we have a demo website, which is just WordPress based. It does have some features, and if I can share it with you and get your feedback on what we need. The benefit of it is that we are designing this platform for our needs. What is convenient for us? How do you want it to be ready? You want all the applications to see in a row and be able to check it at the same time, not spend 2 days. For me, it took 2 days to do all that, and then I had to do it with the paper, you know, and then we have to repeat it again. So, you know, we live in a technological era, but this is kind of 100 years ago method. So, sorry. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. At least CodaWorks has good customer service, is what I heard. The cafe has also disadvantages of there, but you may try that one. Or maybe I can do something better and we can test it here for free. We wouldn't have to pay money for anything. So at the moment, the platform exists as a very simple demo stage, which just gets feedback from the users and trying to understand what we need to develop more. And as we get funding, then the platform would be sophisticated with all the needed features. So I don't know what we need next. Do I have to ask for a motion to approve the support?
Paperless.
A letter of support.
Yes, just a letter of support. Yes.
You picked a good name.
And I can, and I can, what I just explained, I can draft it in a letter for Gina.
That would be great.
Yeah, to, yeah,
So
so.
you could do two things, you could do consensus or you could do a motion.
Let's do consensus. Okay. Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
I don't know the difference.
It's like,
What's the difference?
That just means that we're all in agreement.
okay,
Oh, gotcha.
thank you.
We're all planning to go jump off the bridge together. First.
But I would love to see a demo of that, by the way.
Public comment, any other comments from the public? Look at
Is this the right person?
I just want to say that I would like to see the demo of that website.
She's awesome, yeah.
Yes, because what we studied in the business school is that if you have a good product, you have to constantly, ask consumer and try, ask and approve. And again, because what we are doing, we're doing it for us. And now it's my benefit that I'm sitting here and I'm experiencing it myself. So, and I also work with artists, so I know how artists experience it because I did apply to this course myself and I wasn't selected, even though artists were great. And that could be just because my resume was lost or a system didn't work. And now I understand that there's a complex system why some artists win and some not, but it doesn't mean that they're talented or not. And that's something is wrong with that.
I'm also paperless.
Yeah, I would say something just in comments about this process, not just the process, but the quality of the applicants are just amazing.
Yeah.
And if I just exist on their name, their resume, and their pictures, it would be really hard to choose.
Okay, good. Some of them have really good jobs.
Well, I
And
guess,
I appreciate the extra points for being in Alachua County, because I think if not, many of the ones that would probably get the contracts would not even be in the state.
also, like for Art Basel, they have this thing that you go through where when they start judging the different artists, because they have over 400 artists, okay, from around the world. And they have this long list of things that when they make these decisions of the artists, they go through this list. Well, how does the work look? How is is it functional? Is it this and that? Does it say wow? Different things like that. Maybe that can help us make sometimes decisions on work.
And if you have some ideas, please send them to me.
I'll send it to
Because we
you.
have two called artists now to get out on this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will share some ideas too, for sure.
One last thing is, an update on the Artistry in Motion, the WRUF thing that you guys said that we could be a part of, that I'm representing the Art Council with.
I said.
Yeah, both of them. I could be the contact person. Okay, I'm reading 26 grants from them, which I have to get in by tonight. Of the 26, I think 11 were Alachua County residents, which were really cool. And then the rest were from Marion County. And most of them are visual artists. And once they select who they're gonna use, then each of them get like 30-minute airtime on WRUF. And then they asked about us having any funding, and I said the only funding that we had available was Acac, to help subsidize, and so the individual artists can apply for that in October. So after tonight, I can tell you who the Alachua County artists are. But, I think we're only gonna do this like once a year, so it was 26. In Marion County was like their artists all of them were really good, but I was really surprised to see so many from Marion County.
Marion County.
Yeah, I was surprised to see really great artists who does great sculptures in the Alachua County.
Yeah.
Who applied, so.
Yeah.
And there's still some that didn't even apply that's here that
Yes,
super
not all
great.
of them, yeah.
I know a few, and I'm asking, how come you didn't apply? You're like, they ain't paying enough,
Wow, it's a lot of money to me, but I guess I'm not a sculptor.
But no, it's just like I was explaining to him. In 1984, for a mural, they paid me $10,000 for a mural. I got paid like $800 to paint a stripe down the wall. So now you're looking at what they pay people now is what? Man, there's a lot of things that I could go out for, but I look at the money, I'm like, why am I walking backwards? Because I'm taking steps backwards instead of going forward, because the money, what you're paying the money is not there.
Which is all the more reason as individuals and not as a council, you have to continue to write and lobby your legislators to put more money so that we can be able to get money to give back out, so that artists can be fairly paid. Because they're just not across the state.
Well, I think it takes a group effort, to do that. And it's not a lot of us that's on that same page to do that, because everybody's still trying to pay their mortgage, feed their kids, you know what I mean? So, I hear you, but this is, I come here, I spend time here, but I still have to do
Right.
my
Well,
thing.
each of us are different, you
Right.
know, like.
But I'm just
you have
saying,
her-
it's a big,
you have
it's a huge
It is.
effort because.
Or support those agencies like the Florida Cultural Alliance and other agencies that are out there lobbying, support them. You know, share the arts tag every once in a while with your friends and family on Facebook, you know, 'cause that's how we get our money, so that we can.
Well, I'm always, you know,
Yeah.
pushing us.
And I don't mean you, but I mean just all of us. Just remember that's how we're able to. If we had $100,000 set aside, we couldn't maybe look at projects and say, that's a great project or whatever, but we just.
So
I
we
can
definitely can be that. I would say we have to have a goal of paying artists more and be example to other entities who pay low. And it's not only, legislation and asking for the government, but we can collaborate with businesses. So if we, for
Right.
example, could
Right.
give some kind of tax exempt or any other benefits to a business who donates money here, and we do a project, that would be a great collaboration. We would get money from them, and businesses would have something in
Right.
return.
Because Coca-Cola gives,
Can I motion that we
Coca-Cola-
adjourn and then just chat after, because are we done?
So
for
it's
today?
something that comes before this board, you cannot chat after.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Coca-Cola gives money, Publix gives money, all these people love giving money to the arts.
It's easier for them to give money us than artists directly. They do not
Right.
collaborate with
Yeah, and
individuals.
see, one of the
Right.
things, when I was meeting with the city of Gainesville, they have a separate 501c3. And that separate 501c3 is called Gainesville Arts and Parks. And then that 501c3 can get donations from businesses and stuff to help subsidize the city of Gainesville arts program. So maybe in
Well, what
the
about
future,
here?
we could either, two things that Russell shared with me. One, I knew about Gainesville Arts and Parks, which is their 501c3, but they also partnered with Alachua County Arts Association, and the Arts Association served as their pass-through organization for certain grants and funding. So that's something we could think about in the future. If there's things that we can't do because we're government, but we can have a 501c3,
So
with a
Gina-
whole separate board, none of us.
So our organization, this group can apply for, grants from foundations and et cetera?
So it would be the county being the applicant.
Mhm.
So if you guys would help me do the grant application, then basically we already.
But nobody calls me.
Girl.
All I want is a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Before we adjourn, I think we just need to get through all these CPAs, like really truly get through all of these, and then we can really do some cool stuff. Not that these aren't cool, but we need to get through these.
Okay.
And then we can think about grants and funding and some really cool things to do.
I have a question though.
Uh-huh.
You guys were talking last time or the month before about social media presence. I mean.
Yeah. Where we are now at this
I think,
point.
I think that was.
If you have whatever information to get out, Mark Sexton will be happy to share it, and we've been actually doing that. So there was, it was the, poetry event for the kids. He
Which
got
was
that
really
out.
nice, yeah, Art Speaks.
And so long as we know about it, especially if it's already prepackaged and he just needs to share it, because he has more than 90,000 people on Facebook, so it's super easy to get the word out.
Okay, yeah, because you were mentioning about the art tag, and I'm like, oh, well.
Okay.
All right, we will adjourn. Yeah, have a great month.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Hey.